Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and a very warm welcome to the Interlagos circuit in Sao Paulo for the KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour Round 7 and 8, alongside TCR South America and TCR Brazil Banco BRB. My name's Paul Jeffrey up in the commentary box, and I am delighted to welcome you to the first racing action of the weekend here at this spectacular circuit. But before that, let's head down to the grid to speak to some of the drivers.
Good afternoon, this is Letícia Datena straight from Interlagos, and welcome to the KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour. This is the 7th round of the championship, and I would like to remind you that we also have TCR South America and TCR Brazil Banco BRB on the grids today. That's why we have a full grid, 28 cars of 10 different nationalities, and today we are going to have two races. This is race 1 that has 25 minutes plus 1 lap, and the starting order is the exact result of the qualifying. That's why Santiago Rucha from Uruguay, who's getting ready right now to get in the car, is the pole position of the World Tour. And the pole position of TCR South America and TCR Brazil is the Brazilian Rafael Reis. I wish good luck to all the drivers today that are representing 10 different nationalities, 7 manufacturers, and I will be back at the end with the podium ceremony.
Letícia down on the grid there in Interlagos. Thank you very much indeed for that one, and a big warm welcome to each and every one of you watching from home. This is round 7 that we're about to commence, and you can see on your screens now the entry list for this race. 28 drivers are taking part in the race today. 10 nationalities, 7 manufacturers, 9 model of cars, and some names that you will recognise from the TCR world, and some names you'll recognise from slightly further afield. We've got some incredible talent on the field. We've got the Formula E world champion Nelson Piquet taking part in this particular race. We have got drivers that have won no less than 5 TC 2000 championships. That is, of course, Matheus Rossi. We have got drivers that have won world championships in TCR touring cars, and we've got drivers that have been around the sport in various degrees for many, many years. Talent is not something that we are lacking on this grid, and what that means for us is we're going to have ourselves an absolutely sensational race. Speaking of, this race is 25 minutes plus 1 lap, and we'll be racing again a little bit later on this afternoon as well, 19:30 CEST for round 8 from Interlagos. Keep an eye on that one. But qualifying was quite the experience, arguably the longest qualifying in the history of TCR, courtesy of a red flag for some barrier repairs. But when it was all said and done, it was Santiago Urrutia that came through for pole position. Esteban Gurrieri will be joining him on the front row of the grid. Jan Eliché is one of those drivers that is looking for a strong result today. He's got a gap to close in the overall KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour standings. Currently, as things stand, coming into this one, 14 points in arrears from Norbert Michaelis. The big thing is, though, Norby down in 10th position, complaining a lack of straight line speed in their Hyundais. They expect to be vulnerable in this race to the cars around them. Could this be a Lynk & Co Cyan Racing benefit? With the likes of Esteban Gurrieri and Goat Racing, they've got a few things to say about that one as well. The Goat Racing Hondas lining up in 2nd and 4th position, Marco Butti being the driver that starts in position number 4. Both cars have looked very quick indeed over the course of the weekend. Before we get there, though, let's take a look at the current standings. As mentioned, 14 points in arrears is Jan Eliché. Esteban Gurrieri a further 5 back in 3rd position. Mikel Afkona outside the top 12, 4th in the standings. He's got a lot of work to do over the course of these next 25 minutes plus 1 lap. This is an incredible racetrack to go racing on. Overtaking will most certainly be possible. If you're outside that top 10, all is not lost. Having a look at the team standings, BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corsa lead the standings by a single point from Lynk & Co Cyan Racing. Goat Racing, new to touring cars in 2024. They're 3rd in the standings, 88 points in arrears, but with all 3 of their drivers looking very strong indeed. This could be a very nice day for Goat Racing when we get to the conclusion of the race that you can see on track is about to commence. The Interlagos circuit, of course, is an incredible racing venue, one that will be very well known to racing fans around the world. It's the first time the KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour have come to Interlagos. It offers a new challenge for many of our World Tour drivers, but of course, TCR South America, TCR Brazil, Banco BRB drivers know this venue very well indeed. So let's take a look at the grid. Santiago Urrutia from Esteban Gurrieri on the front row. Jan Elishay and Marco Butti will start in 3rd and 4th positions. Nestor Girolami is alongside Ted Bjork in 5th and 6th, and then it's Rafael Reis and Rafael Suzuki 7th and 8th, the quickest of the South American contingent. Marcin Guar is 9th, Norbert Mikulis in 10th, from Dusan Borkovic and Juan Rosso with a Toyota in 12th. 13th is Azcona from Nelson Piquet Jr. Then John Philippi and Pedro Cardozo are 15th and 16th on the grid. Khalid Osman in 17th from Juan Manuel Casella, and then Matthias Rossi in 19th and Lionel Pernia in 20th. Fabian Iannantuoni in 21st, from Thiago Vivacqua in 22nd, Enrique Maglioni 23rd, and 25th Fabio Casagrande from Norberto Fontana. Glimia Reichel is in 27th, and in 28th and last is Diego Gutierrez. Good news for anybody who watched qualifying. You saw a quite scary looking accident between Marcos Hurgadas and Enrique Maglione. Maglione's car buried into the barriers at the start of the Senna S. Squadra Martino have got that Honda Civic and Honda Civic Type R FL5. There we go, Paul, put your teeth in. They have worked wonders overnight. That car is fully repaired, so we have a full cohort of 28 cars starting this race. Great work from the Squadra Martino outfit, and hopefully for Enrique Maglione, he can pay them back somewhat in this opening 25-minute plus 1 lap race here at Interlagos. Anybody familiar with the world of TCR touring cars will know that we do our races from a standing start. What you can see on screen now is the formation lap. The drivers will be navigating their way around this 4.309 kilometre circuit, warming the tyres, warming the brakes, getting the heat and temperature into the cars, getting themselves into battle-ready positions. Because mark my words, I say this often, I mean it every time, but even more so today. This is going to be a spectacular race, one of the best racetracks in the whole world, certainly in South America, potentially in the whole wide world. The Interlagos Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache circuit is iconic, historic, legendary, and quite frankly, just perfect for TCR specification touring cars. So expect the round 7 of the KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour to be one of those races, I hope, that we can etch its name in history as being a spectacular motorsport event, and in a few moments' time, we'll be ready to go racing. Santiago Urrutia then, winding the field slowly up to their grid spots. It's like an amphitheatre here at Interlagos, the big imposing grandstands overlooking the pit lane, overlooking the start-finish straight, the Brazilian, the South American flair and atmosphere absolutely on show here at Interlagos. Great experience for our drivers to be racing in front of this kind of South American passion, and I'm sure that will translate to an elbows-out performance by more than a few of the stars on the field. Ones to look out for, Mikel Azcona in 13th position. He's got work to do. John Philippi all the way down in 15th as well. Should be another driver from the World Tour contingent at least. They'll be hoping to make their way through the running order. In terms of South America, there's some big names a little bit further down. Nelson Piquet Jr., of course, former Formula 1 driver, former Formula E champion. He starts in 14th position, guesting this weekend, still coming to grips with a front-wheel drive touring car around Interlagos. Very impressive performance from the 38-year-old Brazilian. So here we go. A lot of talking, a lot of waiting. But now it's time to go motor racing here in the KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour and TCR South America, TCR Brazil, Banco BRB. The lights are out, the cars go, and we are starting here at Interlagos for round 7. Esteban Gurrieri with a sensational start for the run down into T1. He manages to find a way past. A little bit further on, the BRC Hyundai Squadra Corsa around the outside of the GOAT Racing Honda Will this be a successful pass? A little bit deep, a little bit wide for Marco Butti. He's got his elbows out nice and early already. But the 129 trying desperately to find a way past Bebel Girolami on his tippy toes right from the very off. At the front of the field, Guerrieri tries to break the slipstream of the chasing Santiago Urrutia behind. Urrutia doesn't have enough real estate though to close down, and meanwhile it is a gaggle of cars. Rafael Race sideways. Rafael Race in the 77 that you just see there gathers the car back together. A bit of secondary contact for the Brazilian as well, but I think Race gets away with it. At the front of the field though, this is now Santiago Urrutia around the outside. Urrutia in the blue car, and the inside is Esteban Guerrieri. Contact between the two of them. Guerrieri just about holds on. Urrutia runs out of road, drops back down to second. While our leading group of cars, there's a BRC Hyundai a little bit sideways, down in 5th position. That must be Bebel Girolami. There is the stranded John Filippi. We saw the yellow flags on race start. John Filippi, Volcano Motorsport fails to get away. Fabio Casagrande that we're looking at as well. He's down pit lane, so Casagrande never quite managed to get out onto the start. Jan Elishay looks to the inside of Marco Butti. He'll have to hold that one back though, because the dreaded safety car is here. We need to clear John Filippi's Volcano Motorsports Audi off the grid. So the safety car will gather our field together. We'll go to a much more pedestrian pace than we've seen in the first few corners. And everybody will wind themselves back up again to go again in a few moments' time. Is that Guerrieri just forgetting to go in pit lane? There we go, Esteban. A little bit late following the safety car through pit lane. The reason we're doing that one, of course, is to give the marshals a free and safe working environment in which to remove the Volcano Motorsport Audi, the sole Audi in the field this weekend of John Filippi. His weekend has not been a good one at all. 15th in qualification, never really able to quite find the pace in the Volcano Motorsports machine, and then race 1 of the weekend doesn't even get off the grid. So let's take another look at that start. A little bit pedestrian, it has to be said, from Urrutia at the front of the grid. He covers off Marco Butti very, very quickly indeed, but Esteban Guerrieri doesn't need asking twice. Great launch from himself in the Honda. There is John Filippi stranded. Audi that you see on the grid there, well done to the entirety of the field to avoid collecting. That could have been a very nasty accident indeed. But John Filippi will be very relieved that no secondary contact was made with his stranded car. The Volcano driver, though, big disappointment. Long way to come to Brazil to not even make it off of the line for the first race of the weekend. Hopefully they can get that car sorted and either get back out into this race, at least to put some laps on the board, or the very least to get it in a position to go racing again when we hit the track at 19:30 CEST. For our second and final race of the weekend. There is the safety crew here at Interlagos, just hooking up the Audi. They'll clear him hopefully quite quickly behind the barriers and onto pit lane. And then our safety car can come in and we can go racing once again. So quick recap then, while we're in the safety car conditions. It is Esteban Guerrieri who's your race leader for Santiago Urrutia, the Argentine driver, versus the Uruguayan. Very dramatic on track. Guerrieri, though, just about held on. Marco Butti makes the GOAT Racing 1-3 in 3rd position. A good start from the Italian driver, Jan Elishay, down into 4th place. Not an ideal start for the Frenchman, but Elishay certainly plenty of pace in that Lincoln Co. Cyan Racing. Bebel Girolami in all kinds of strife in the opening few corners. Holds on a 5th from Ted Bjork. Norbert Mikulis, one of the biggest movers on this opening lap. He started 10th, let's remember, struggling for pace in the BRC Hyundai N Quadricorsa, a Lantra N TCR. Mikulis, though, up into 7th place, just ahead of Ma Qinghua. Mikel Afkona, another driver, making great inroads in that opening lap. He started 13th, now he's up into 9th position, just ahead of Rafael Suzuki. And Dusan Borkovic, currently in 11th place, and that is Enrique Maglione. He's the driver that we saw embedded in the barriers in qualification. An absolutely monumental effort from the team to get that car up and running, but I think for Enrique it potentially looks like a little bit of a technical gremlin has crept in these earlier stages. Car number 15 stranded at the side of the racetrack. Hopefully they can either get that one restarted or get that car cleared quite quickly, so we don't have to extend this safety car period any longer than is necessary, and we can go racing again. 25 minutes even, plus 1 lap for this first race of the weekend. 30 minutes plus 1 lap for race 2 a little bit further down the road. As you can see then, lights are still ablaze on the safety car. Of course, when the lights go out, that will signify to the chasing pack that the safety car will be coming in and we can go racing again. You'll have spotted that John Filippi's Volcano Motorsports Audi has been cleared off the grid now, so that's good news, good work by the Marshall teams there. It's just a case of Enrique Maglioni's Honda Civic from the Squadra Martino team to get that one out of the way again, and then we can go racing. So, who's the big winners and who is the big losers in these opening laps? Esteban Guerrieri, of course, the biggest winner of all. He's leveraged his front row starting position to an early race lead, but it's got to be Norbert Michaelis, all the way down in 7th place. Fantastic start from Norbert, 3 places gained from those around him, and this is damage limitation from Norbert Michaelis for sure this weekend. Came into this one as the World Tour leader. Very possible that lead may be relinquished at the conclusion of this race, but Michaelis will certainly use all of the tenacity and racecraft and pace that he has at his disposal to see if he can try and improve from that 7th place that he currently finds himself in. As well, Mikel Afkona doing his level best to stay in contention with his teammate at the BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corsa team. There is Girolami Bjork, Michaelis, Marchinghua, and then Mikel Afkona going through your shot. Spanish driver, very, very difficult qualification, really struggled to find pace in the car, couldn't break in to the all-important top 12 shootout for Q2, doesn't benefit from any reverse grid shenanigans in race 2 either, so Mikel Afkona got one job, sharpen those elbows and go do what touring car drivers do best, get out there and see if he can fight his way through. There is the Enrique Maglioni failing to move the machine, get in the tow. Our safety crew, hopefully they can escape down the barriers pretty quickly. And this safety car can wind its way back in the pit lane and we can go motor racing once again. For the TCR South America contingent, by the way, it is still Rafael Suzuki who's the lead challenger, shall we say, in the Peugeot. He's in 10th position. We did see Rafael race getting very heavily sideways in the opening lap. That has cost the Brazilian significant amount of times. Rafael race all the way down in 17th place now, courtesy of that contact. Did well to recollect the car. The 17th position is not where Rafael race will want to be at this stage in the race, so we'll keep our eye on that one as the Cupra driver has plenty of pace this weekend around this track, so I do expect to see him move forward of the duration. The next 16 minutes and 52 seconds left on the clock. You can see Galid Osman has been in some kind of drama as well. He's down in 28th position, so I'm not quite sure exactly what has happened to Galid Osman, but he's definitely in some kinds of strife, and that's a real shame to see that one as well. Another driver that would have perhaps been hoping for a little bit more from this weekend. Okay, so the safety car will be in on this lap. The safety car lights have been extinguished. They will peel off to the left when we get to our final start-finish straight, and then we will go racing again. In effect, the safety car is now Esteban Guerrieri. He slows the field down, condenses the pack together. He'll know that Santiago Urrutia is not one of these drivers that's particularly fond in biding his time. He does like to go forward as quickly as possible. So Guerrieri has definitely got quite the challenge on his hands. When will he hit the loud pedal? We're right on board with Bebo Girolami now through the final significant corner of the lap, and immediately we are go. Guerrieri desperate not to give a toe to the Lincoln Co behind, and that's a very nice restart from the Argentine driver. Santiago Urrutia a little bit sleeping on this occasion. He's lost several car lengths to the GOAT Racing Honda at the front of the field, and now we cross the line to commence racing action with 15.5 minutes left on the clock. Guerrieri takes the race lead a little bit further on. That is Dusan Borkovic on Suzuki. Dusan Borkovic trying to find a way past. The big Serbian driver had a couple of lap times deleted in qualifying, hence the reason he's a little bit lower down the running order than he would have expected. Dusan Borkovic, though, on a charge in 11th position. This is Bebo Girolami that we ride on board with now, new into the BRC squad in 2024. Girolami acquitted himself very nicely indeed. There is Rafael Race in the 77, having a look to the inside. Not quite the opportunity on this occasion, but Race on Pania Two very, very, very decorated drivers in South America squabbling as things stand in 16th and 17th position. But this is a pass for position. That is Bebel Girolami on the outside line. Absolutely nothing he can do about it. Ted Bjork slides to the inside. A very nice pass from the informed Swedish driver. Bjork moves himself into 5th position. Girolami now has teammate Norbert Mikkelis to contend with behind. Good move from Bjork. Mikkelis, for his own strife, he's trying to hold off Ma Qinghua. That brings Mikael Afkona into the fight as well. So that's a good battle between the two Hyundais. And the meat in the Hyundai sandwich is Ma Qinghua in the Cyan Racing Lincoln Co machine. That's a fight we'll keep our eyes on. At the front of the field, though, Santiago Urrutia very quickly closing the gap to Gurrieri behind. Best lap for these two drivers, pretty much identical with the 2:16. And then we cross the line for our first flying lap as there is another pass. That is the 62 of Dusan Borkovic. So Borkovic still on his move up. He's managed to find a way past Mikael Afkona. So the dreaded, the feared straight line speed of the Hyundais started to catch these drivers out now. Afkona drops behind the GOAT Racing machine, looking one way and the other, very mobile on the rear fender of the Honda Civic. But just no opportunity at this moment in time for Afkona. Mikkelis having a look and defending at the same time to his teammate Girolami. Mikkelis has the inside line. Bebel Girolami does not defend that one at all. Ma Qinghua tries to buy into it. No such opportunity on this occasion. Mikkelis moves up a position as well. Good bit of inter-team play from the BRC Hyundai squad there. And now heavily defensive for Girolami. Has the inside line covered. Absolutely nowhere from Ma Qinghua to find a Lincoln Co Cyan FLO3 type space gap to fit himself along the inside. And again, big defensive effort from Girolami. This is a big moment now. Sideways is the Argentine driver, in fact, but Girolami gathers it all together as a bit of debris kicks off the side of the circuit. Girolami now needs to play the team game. How long can he hold off Ma Qinghua? Can he bring Mikael Afkona into the equation as well? And more importantly, give the breathing room for Norbert Mikkelis to try and move forward if he possibly can. There he is, Rafael Suzuki, that we're looking at in 11th position, still the forerunner of the TCR South America drivers. The highest place of the TCR South America drivers, Nelson Piquet. He's got the company behind, so good start for Nelson Piquet. Couple of positions gained in the opening few laps of chaos. Here now is the big opportunity though for Ma Qinghua, and he's pulling the Honda along with him as well. Ma is looking to make a manoeuvre. Girolami has the inside line covered. Good bit of defensive driving there into the centre S. That opens the door though for the Honda around the outside. Dusan Borkovic very, very keen to not be delayed for much longer if he can help it. Glued to the back of the Chinese driver. Mikael Afkona keeping a watching brief as well, looking for opportunity. Girolami now though does not defend, leaves the door wide open. That is an invitation for Ma. Cannot do enough about getting alongside though for the Chinese driver. Ma Qinghua slots back in behind Girolami. Girolami the cork in the bottle of this particular battle, and he knows it as well. Look how defensive the 129 is. Very, very tight. That's going to compromise him all the way through the corner. He's walking away from the apex. The Lincoln Co just has so much more turning capability. And Ma Qinghua with a high line on the inside gets the deal done. That's a lovely, lovely pass from the Chinese driver. Dusan Borkovic fancies his chance as well. Lovely contact maybe between the two of them. Borkovic gives no racing room. Contact. Dusan Borkovic all over the grass. There was no room for himself, and the Hyundai does well not to collect anybody. Coming back on the racetrack, Matthias Rossi, very, very aggressive as well as he tries to make his way past in the red Toyota. But that was a disaster for Dusan Borkovic. Not the first time that we've seen him spearing over the grass this season, and Borkovic dropping all the way down the running order. I'm not quite sure exactly where he's going to sort of filter back out when the timing screen updates, but one thing is for sure, that is one less competitor for Bebel Girolami to have to try and contend with over these next few laps. Now we're seeing Matthias Rossi to the inside. Rossi has the inside line, is defending from Borkovic. He's looking to pass the Squadron Martino car at the same time as well. Matthias Rossi, inside line, a little bit of a snatch break. No problems whatsoever, and that is another position gained for Matthias Rossi. So good bit of driving there. Borkovic side by side as well. Borkovic trying to find his own way back into contention as well. The big Serbian driver for Goat Racing in the Honda, the white car with the red flashings that you see in the back of your shot. Still side by side is Dusan Borkovic, and now he gets the job done. That's another position gain. Nelson Piquet Jr. is the one that loses out on this occasion. A little bit further back, car number 77, Rafael Race, very firmly in the heart of all the squabbling as well. Look at this, two cars side by side. The outside line, though, is the one that Rafael Race occupies on this occasion. No opportunity. Pedro Cardozo holds on for now in that particular squabble. While they're all fighting amongst themselves, though, they're becoming a little bit detached from the cars ahead. Cardozo leading this particular line. Pania is the next one up the road, but he's a good few seconds further up. So this is very much a squabble here for the kind of 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 on down positions in the TCR South America, the TCR Brazil Banco BRB classification runners. 8 minutes 46 seconds left on the clock. It's still a 9/10 of a second lead for Esteban Gurrieri at the front of the field from Santiago Urrutia. There is your race leader, perfectly on cue as we come down into the famed Senna S chicane. There is Urrutia and a small gap to Marco Butti. Let's take a look at the replay now. This is the move that we saw a couple of corners ago. Marcinkoir to the inside. Dusan Borkovic trying desperately to buy into this one. Borkovic on the Honda. There we see Girolamo. The Honda comes across the nose of the Elantra, and then away we go on the grass. Very, very fortunate that that didn't turn into more than it needed to be on the rejoin as well. Bit of drama further at the field as well. That is Matheus Rossi in the red Toyota Corolla that you see there. A little bit of a hip on his shoulder as the inside line. Matheus Rossi continues his particular charge of the running order. Good bit of aggressive driving thus far. 11th place is the reward for Rossi. An instant between 129 and 62. That is Girolamo, and of course that is Dusan Borkovic. That has been noted by the stewards. They'll be reviewing that one. Hopefully can come to a conclusion sooner rather than later. No such problem though for Borkovic's teammate. Esteban Gurrieri now looking very comfortable at the front of the field. Coming into this race, I would have potentially suggested there's more pace in the Lincoln Co. Cyan racing cars, but Esteban Gurrieri once again defies expectation and is getting a comfortable gap to the chasing pack. Galid Osman that we're looking at there, that was one of the cars that I said had a real difficult time all the way down the bottom of the field on the timing screen. So some kind of dramas for Osman in the Cupra car number 28. He was mid-pack in qualification, and then unfortunately for Osman, 17th position in qualifying is not translating to a particularly strong race. He's down in 18th according to the timing screens, but very detached from the chasing field. 6 minutes 44 seconds left on the clock. Here is that Rafael Suzuki? I think it might be car number 27. No, it is not. I apologise. It's Marcos Hurrigadas. That's one of the two drivers that we saw in strife in qualifying. This was one of the car that came into contact with the very unfortunate Enrique Maglione. It looks like some kind of dramas there for Hurrigadas. Hopefully he can get that car round to pit lane before too long. Whatever dramas they can sort of diagnose and get that car back out on the racetrack. Girolamo though, speaking of on the racetrack, Bebu Girolamo, Nestor Girolamo, or Bebu as is more commonly known, very successful in TC 2000, a home in Argentina, massive South American following, and he's doing a good job thus far in 9th position, but Rafael Suzuki fancies trying to find a way pass as well. Why does Rafael Suzuki fancy that one? Because he's got a somewhat frustrated Dusan Borkovic behind, and Dusan Borkovic is not the kind of man, when he's got the red mist down, you want to be following you on a racetrack. Suzuki has one of two options: clear the Hyundai and get away from Borkovic, or don't defend too hard and let the big Serbian driver pass and see what he can do about Bebu Girolamo in front. Good bit of driving though on the Peugeot driver. Winner, of course, in TCR South America this season is Rafael Suzuki, moved over from the PMO squad and the Lincoln Co. in 2023. Now rocking the Peugeot 3008 to very, very good effect is Rafael Suzuki. 10th overall and currently the leader of TCR South America and TCR Brazil Banco BRB drivers in this particular race. There is Rafael Race. Speaking of, he's had an energetic event thus far, shall we say, the Rafael race. Still holding on in 17th position in the black car. At the back of your shot, there's Dusan Borkovic now. He's decided time to lick the stamp and send it, so he does. Inside line for Borkovic, position gained for Borkovic. Rafael Suzuki didn't fight that one too hard. Intelligent bit of driving from the Brazilian, and Borkovic now on a charge, trying to find a way past Girolamo. Picture in picture there is Osman in the slightly troubled car. Osman in the garage, and that's one of the Peugeots as well. Regardless, I think that was there as Rafael Race looks to the outside line. At the back of your shot, Dusan Borkovic follows Bebel Girolamo at the forefront of your shot, and Borkovic now gets the deal done. Dusan Borkovic makes the overtake. Rafael Suzuki tries to buy into that one as well. Suzuki has the outside line. Suzuki doesn't have quite enough real estate to get that deal done. And a struggling Bebel Girolamo just about holding on in ninth position as things stand. The predicted BRC Hyundai N Squadron Corsa lack of race pace is starting to show now with Bebel Girolamo. Can Suzuki find a way past? He's only got 3 minutes 43 seconds plus 1 lap in which to try to do so. But mark my words, Rafael Suzuki's been around a long time, very successful, very talented driver, also a thoroughly nice guy. And Rafael Suzuki will not be intimidated one iota about the success of his international counterparts in front. He'll just be wanting to make the move for himself and his team, and more to the point, he'll be wanting to make the move to not allow Matheus Rossi to attack him from behind. This is vital now for Suzuki. If he can clear the Hyundai, he can put a car between himself and that red Corolla, and Matheus Rossi that you see behind defensive. Does Girolamo go into the first corner? Outside line, that will become the inside line if we can hold the Peugeot all the way around the outside. No, on this occasion we cannot. Rafael Suzuki has to redouble his efforts for another charge. This is, remember, for 10th and 11th position, so the last position in the top 10 currently held by Bebel Girolamo. Dusan Borkovic escaping up the road now, so Borkovic, once he's cleared this little battle pack, has got enough pace in that GOAT racing car to begin his charge. Closing at the back of Mikel Afcona, there is Nelson Piquet Jr., former Formula 1 driver, Brazilian stock car driver, Formula E champion as well, won the championship in the first year of Formula E 10 plus years ago, believe that or not. That one's gone very quick indeed. Bit of a nomadic career, Nelson Piquet Jr., raced in America in NASCAR trucks as well to some success, and then come back home to Brazil in the Stock Car Brazil Championship, and then guesting here at Interlagos for this weekend, learning on the fly all about the trials and tribulations of a TCR front-wheel drive touring car at this Interlagos Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache circuit, and doing a very good job is the 38-year-old son of course, triple world champion, Formula 1 world champion, Nelson Piquet Sr. So Nelson Piquet Jr., or Nelsinho as he's also commonly known. Good work there, 13th in fact position thus far. Not quite as good though as this man Esteban Gurrieri. I thought he was going to be under pressure. He shows exactly how much I know. It's a 3.3 second advantage is Esteban Gurrieri over Santiago Urrutia behind. Really impressive bit of driving there for Gurrieri and Urrutia. Further down the run in order, that is Rafael Race under all the pressure in the world once again. The inside line has been taken by Cardozo. Does he have enough of an overlap? No, he doesn't. Race has the inside line, runs Cardozo all the way onto the curb. Good bit of driving from the Peugeot driver, not to let that sort of unsettle the car, and they continue in their side-by-side battle. Rafael Race, though, now having to go on the inside line as Bebel Girolamo, heavily defending the inside line. Race, though, can he make it all the way around the outside? No, he cannot. Pedro Cardozo in absolutely no mood whatsoever to give any racing room to his Brazilian counterpart. Cardozo, though, I do fear he's on the outside line and going to be in some kind of strife. There is Girolamo, also in all kinds of pain at this moment in time. Girolamo versus Suzuki. Girolamo goes a little bit deep. I don't know if it helps or that was a mistake. The end result is, though, position conceded. Rafael Suzuki sneaks the Peugeot up, and now it's Matheus Rossi's turn to have a go on Girolamo. Girolamo has the outside line, then to the inside comes the Honda. Oh, a little bit of contact, a little bit messy from Piquet Jr. Rossi's the one that misses out, and that's a big hit. That is a big hit from the damaged Corolla. Matheus Rossi head on into the unprotected Armco barrier there. I dare say that will be the end of that one as the round one timer hits 0. This is the final lap. Hopefully we can cover that one with local yellows and see this as a green all the way through the checker. But that all came about from Nelson Piquet Jr. having a little bit more enthusiasm than he does real estate. There you see the Honda at the back of your shot. Piquet Jr. sees a gap that very quickly disintegrates. Contact between himself and Rossi. Rossi's rear left deranged as he bounces in to the Elantra and then straight to the scene of the accident for the bright red Toyota Corolla machine. Matthias Rossi was having a very nice race indeed, thank you very much, up to that point, but unfortunately that one ends in the barriers. We're still under green flag conditions though, as we're on the final lap of the race. Esteban Gurrieri from second on the grid got the start he needed to take an early race lead, rebuffed the attack of Santiago Urrutia behind. There is Matthias Rossi out of the car. That's good news. Hopefully that's more disappointment than injury that we see from the body language of the Brazilian driver. But Esteban Gurrieri now is doing a very, very good job to bring the car through to the line for the final few corners here at Interlagos for round 7 of the KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour alongside TCR South America and TCR Brazil Banco BRB. It's going to be a first win of the weekend for Esteban Gurrieri. Fantastic performance from beginning to end for the Argentine driver. And for the first time in 2024 for GOAT Racing, for Esteban Gurrieri, he takes the checkered flag and with it wins round 7 of the KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour alongside TCR South America and TCR Brazil Banco BRB. Santiago Urrutia crosses the line in second ahead of Marco Butti. Jan Elishay does wonders for his championship charge in 4th position. Ted Bjork in 5th. Norbert Mikulis moves up to 6th at the checkered flag as well. Great performance from Norbert Mikulis there. Marcin Kvar in 7th, from Mikel Azcona 8th. Dusan Borkovic, after all of his dramas, is 9th. And then Rafael Suzuki rounds out the top 10 and crosses the line, the first of the TCR South America runners. Well, we suggested, or I suggested, going out on a limb, always a risk, at the top of the show, that this would be a dramatic race, and exactly how it has proven. Fantastic stuff there from all the drivers, in particular Esteban Gurrieri. A dominant victory in the end. The fastest lap of the race as well, for 1 minute 42.950, goes the way of the Argentine driver, and that is, of course, a very first win for Esteban Gurrieri and a very first win for GOAT Racing, not just in the KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour, but in any form of competition. So really, really good stuff for GOAT Racing and for Gurrieri, and the 186 takes home the maximum points haul of 30 points from this first race of the weekend. Gurrieri, of course, came into this race after qualification. Of course, there's points for qualifying. Came into this one third in the standings on 131 points. 150 is what the total for Norbert Mikulis. This one is going to help Gurrieri's championship charge significantly, especially because Mikulis only came home in 6th. And that's confirmation then of your provisional round 7 results. Gurrieri from Urrutia, Butti, Elishay, Bjork, and then Mikulis in 6th position. Rafael Suzuki is the first of the South American drivers home in 10th, just ahead of Nelson Piquet, although I'm hearing that Piquet has a 5-second penalty for contact with the Matthias Rossi incident that we saw on the very final lap of the race. Expect him to move down the order once the results have been finalised in a short while later. Couple of retirees, Maglione, John Filippi didn't get away from the line, and Fabio Casagrande didn't even get out of pit lane. Hopefully any kind of dramas that are afflicting those cars can be rectified in the relatively short changeover between now and race 2, round 8, a little bit later on this afternoon, 19:30 CEST on the TCR TV YouTube channel. We all know what touring car racing is like, folks at home. Race 1's usually good, race 2 is usually absolutely spectacular. Well, race 1 was certainly very entertaining today. I'm expecting race 2 to be even more dramatic indeed. I'm also hearing in my ear, by the way, there's no further action on the Girolami and Borkovic incident from earlier in the race, so their positions will be unaffected by that particular incident. Girolami, of course, crossing the line all the way down in 13th. Dusan Borkovic in 9th position. So there is a rather excited looking, it has to be said, Esteban Guerrieri. Just getting the gloves off. Temperatures rising, of course, here in Interlagos. Helmet will come off as well, as will the fireproof balaclava and the hands, head and neck device. Marco Butti, first one over there. Congratulate his teammate, a 1-3 for Goat Racing. First victory for the Spanish-based squad in any level of TCR touring car competition. And there is team principal, Pepe Ariola, former driver himself, of course. Pepe Ariola heading up the Goat Racing outfit and doing very, very well for it indeed. Esteban, national football team shirt there, methinks. Sure that one will go down well indeed. Vamos! That's the man who's rather pleased with his day's work, it has to be said. Great performance from Esteban Guerrieri in Goat Racing. Guess his winner's KUMHO cap there. Posing for a couple of quick photos with Pepe Ariola. Hugs and cheers all around. Very popular driver. Very, very popular driver on the international and the local scene is Esteban Guerrieri. This will be a very popular win in the paddock, I'm sure, especially considering all the dramas that befell him last time around, of course, at Mid-Ohio. Bit of redemption, it has to be said, for Esteban Guerrieri and the Goat Racing outfit. Takes the congratulations of his team. Maggie there from TCR South America, just trying to chaperone the driver to the proceedings. Never the easiest thing in the world in the heat of the moment of celebrating. You have to be a little bit forceful. So fantastic stuff then. Esteban Guerrieri, our race winner. And I do think that in a few moments' time, we're going to have a quick word with our race winner. I'm sure that Letitia's down there, microphone in hand. If only we can drag him in front of a camera. That's the hardest job, as he's celebrating again with his team. And so he should as well. What a performance from Esteban Guerrieri. Really strong drive. 10 seconds at the flag was the advantage. That's, of course, bloated a little bit as Arrutia calmed it down in the final laps. But nevertheless, that is as dominant as you're likely to see in a TCR touring car. And all the more impressive for it, for being the first win of the year for Guerrieri and the first win for Goat Racing. So let's take a look then at a few highlights from the opening race of the weekend. It was a frantic start. Rafael Reis was one of the many drivers that got himself involved in some shenanigans that dropped him down to the lower reaches of the top 20. At the front of the field, Esteban Guerrieri, with a storming start, came under massive pressure from pole sitter Santiago Arrutia. Arrutia keen to make amends for a lacklustre launch off the line. Couldn't do anything about the in-form Argentine driver Guerrieri using his elbows and more to try and hold on to that race lead. A little bit further on, the BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corsa cars were coming under increasing pressure. Nesta Girolami on a defensive action pretty much from the green through to the checkers. Girolami would drop out of the top 10 eventually when he just couldn't find the pace in the final few moments of the race. That's teammate Norbert Michaelis making an early move on his Argentine teammate. Good position changing there for the current KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour leader, Marcin Kła, trying desperately to buy into that particular fight. Dusan Borkovic would see more than his fair share of drama as well. This is Mar making the move. Borkovic in the 62 behind, tries to get involved. No opportunity on that occasion. And then the inevitable contact would ensue. Borkovic, having to skate over the grass, does well to not collect any further cars as he rejoins. Eventually, the Serbian driver would finish in 9th position. Mateus Rossi doing well to not collect the rear of the Goat Racing car, although a little love kiss on conclusion for good measure. Rossi, Nelson Piquet Jr. and Rafael Suzuki were all as one at many stages of the race. Rafael Suzuki doing a very, very strong job to hold on to the top 10, and with it, the first of the finishers from the TCR South America field. And then, now it is time to head down a pit lane and let's have a little chat to our race winner, Letizia, down on pit lane here in Interlagos.
And I'm here with the winner of KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour in Interlagos, Esteban Guerrieri from Argentina. Esteban, does it taste different to win in Interlagos?
Well, I'm very happy. Definitely very nice taste because it's our first win for GOAT Racing, for our team, which is new in this championship. It's a new structure, you know, small, but with a lot of passion, a lot of dedication into details. So I think we are extracting the maximum out of every situation, not only from the car, but also out of the car. And yeah, to be able to replicate this in a result, it's a very big, nice sensation, you know. So thank you to my team, and yeah, of course, winning Interlagos is special. Always to win here in Ayrton Senna country, which was always my hero, is special, yeah.
Thank you very much and congratulations. And now I have here Rafael Suzuki, the winner of TCR South America and TCR Brazil. A few words on your victory.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big fight with the guys from World Tour. I mean, the P8, P9, P10. Obviously, I need to score points for the team that is fighting for the championship in South America. I think we did our job. The pace was okay. And hopefully in race 2, I can fight a little bit more with the World Tour guys. But yeah, it was fun. Obviously, the safety car was quite long. But it is what it is. I'm happy with the result.
Okay, I'll be back in a few seconds with the podium ceremony.
Our two respective race winners then, Esteban Guerrieri for the overall victory, Rafael Suzuki 10th position on track and first of the TCR South America, TCR Brazil Banco BRB drivers. Here are the provisional results for round 7 once again, and that is your podium, Guerrieri, Urrutia and Marco Butti. A double podium for GOAT Racing on the day they take their first ever international touring car win. Rafael Suzuki did well to hold off Nelson Piquet to the checkered flag, their first and second. Juan Rosso in third position in TCR South America as well. Several drivers perhaps didn't perform quite as well as they would have hoped. Matheus Rossi being one of those drivers. Heavy contact on the very final lap would end the Toyota driver's day, which is a real shame as he was making big progress up through the running order. Matheus Rossi, of course, will be keen to repair any damage for race 2. So here we are then, a few of the highlights once again from the opening race of the weekend. At the start, it was John Philippi not going anywhere as the field descended to T1. A good start for Esteban Guerrieri. He took that race lead, and it was, of course, our pole sitter, car number 112, Santiago Urrutia, tardy away from the line. A little bit of secondary wheel spin as well. Did well to hold off Marco Butti in third position. That put Butti very much in the firing line. Jan Elishay was almost the incident victim in that particular bit of drama. For the first couple of corners, everybody made it pretty much clean and easy. All 27 cars minus John Philippi, 26 in fact, minus Fabio Casagrande. Further down the running order, there is the stranded Volcano Motorsport machine, quickly spirited away so we could go racing again following the safety car intervention. As we got back under green flag conditions, Ted Bjork was a man on the move. Here you can see the 111 and a perfect, picture-perfect overtake here at Interlagos. Had the inside line, nothing that Nestor Girolami could do about the Swedish driver on that occasion. Just behind him, he had his two BRC Hyundai N Squadra Corsa teammates fighting with Ma Qinghua. Ma couldn't quite find a way past. Norbert Mikulis made his way through to score stealthy points for his own championship charge. Dusan Borkovic was in the heat of pretty much everything. The number 62 GOAT Racing Honda, here you can see trying to find his way past alongside Nestor Girolami. That led to contact and eventually Borkovic having a recovery drive. Rafael Suzuki en route to victory in TCR South America does well to stay out of the drama as well. And there is Guerrieri, crosses the finish line to take his first victory of the season, and a well-deserved victory it is indeed. And I think now the highlights have come to their conclusion. Leticia is down there on pit lane gathering everybody together, and it is time to start the podium celebrations. And what a podium it will be. Wonderful scenes at Interlagos, beautiful emotion, passion from the South American fans, and a South American from Argentina takes victory. First time out this weekend. We're going again though with Norbert Mikulis on pole position for race 2. But let's head over to our podium ceremony.
I'd like to invite to the stage the third place, Marco Butti from Italy. Now I invite the second place, Santiago Rucha from Uruguay. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the winner is Esteban Guerrieri from Argentina. Congratulations, and now the winning team, Goat Racing, represented by Pepe Oriola. And now let's listen to the national anthem of Argentina, the country of our winning driver, Esteban Guerrieri. Now today we have a special presenter whom I would like to invite to present the trophy to the winners. Mr. Lim Songbin KUMHO Sr., Executive Vice President of the Sales Division. Please join us. Now you can present the trophies to the third, second, and first, and the winning team. Congratulations, Marco Bucci. Congratulations, Santiago Urrutia. And Esteban Guerrieri, the winner. And let's congratulate Goat Racing, the winning team. Thanks, Mr. Lim. Now, let's celebrate with champagne. We need to take that beautiful picture, the family picture. I would like to invite all the drivers to the podium.
Do pódio, corrida 1, TCR, South America e TCR Brasil. Quinta etapa, chamamos o pódio, terceiro colocado, Juan Rosso. Segundo colocado, Nelsinho Piquet. Melhor equipe, PMO Racing. E o vencedor, Rafael Suzuki do Brasil. Chamamos o presidente da Confederação Brasileira de Automobilismo, Giovanni Guerra, para premiar o terceiro colocado. Aplausos para o terceiro colocado, o argentino Juan Rosso. Segundo colocado, o brasileiro Nelsinho Piquet. Agora a premiação para a melhor equipe. E a melhor equipe é PMO Racing. E agora, o presidente Giovanni Guerra vai premiar o primeiro colocado, o vencedor, Rafael Suzuki. A foto do pódio com o troféu lá em cima. Pilotos, exibam seus troféus para a foto de pódio. E a comemoração no lugar mais alto do pódio. Os vencedores TCR, TCR Brasil.
So there we go then, the podium celebrations are complete. And it has been quite the dramatic start to the weekend here at Interlagos and the KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour featuring the TCR South America and TCR Brazil series. We've seen a few highlights on our screen as what has been an action-packed 25-minute plus one lap race, including a safety car intervention. Absolutely fantastic stuff. We've got one more podium still to go, the TCR Trophy Cup, in a few moments' time, so we'll head back to that one in a second as our drivers are just lining up to take their trophies and their plaudits for a very strong race performance and result indeed. And in fact, on perfect timing, I think we're almost ready to head back down to that final podium of the day, so don't go anywhere, because these drivers, just like the majority of the 28-car field, have been very, very impressive indeed. And here we are, here is the podium in position, so let's head down.
Chamamos o terceiro colocado, Marcos Regadas. Segundo colocado, Marcos Regadas. Segundo colocado, Diego Gutierrez. E o primeiro colocado, Guilherme Rachel. Chamamos Diogo Gugelmin, gerente comercial da New Holland, para entregar ao segundo colocado, Diego Gutierrez. E agora, ao vencedor da Trophy, Guilherme Rachel. O troféu do Regadas entregue a posteriori. Aí a foto do pódio e o banho do champanhe no pódio agora.
Final champagne spraying of the morning then here at Interlagos. But let's not forget, we go again in the KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour, featuring the TCR South America and TCR Brazil Banco BRB for round 8 this afternoon, 19:30 CEST. And with 5 points separating the top 2, 10 points separating the top 3, and just 40 points separating the top 7 drivers in the standings, round number 8 is going to be critical for a number of these drivers. And I dare say, race 2 of a weekend, always fairly dramatic, it has to be said. A reverse grid, Norbert Michaelis on pole position. A few drivers a little bit out of the loop of where they would expect to be. I mark my words right here and right now, folks. You're not going to want to miss that one. Put a little pencil note in your diaries. Don't go anywhere. 19:30 CEST on the TCR TV YouTube channel is the place that you want to be for round 8 of the KUMHO FIA TCR World Tour. It's been an absolute cracking race. Esteban Gurrieri took his first victory of the 2024 season and the first victory ever for GOAT Racing. Till next time, it's going to be more drama, more excitement, more controversy, more overtaking, and hopefully more entertainment for you all. I'm going to leave you with these pictures on our screen now from the highlights at Interlagos. And until next time, thank you all so much for being with us. My name's been Paul Jeffrey. From myself and from everybody behind the scenes, thank you for tuning in and watching, and we'll see you all again 19:30 CEST on the TCR TV YouTube channel. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and bye-bye.
Regadas. E o vencedor, Henrique Malioni. Bem, chamamos o Yuri Turbi. E Yuri Turbi representando o Banco BRB e a BRB Seguros. Yuri entrega para o terceiro colocado. Segundo colocado, Guilherme ao Marcos Regadas. E o primeiro colocado, Henrique Malioni.